my God!
On October 9th, southern Florida in the United States suffered an unprecedented series of tornado disasters within hours before Hurricane Milton made landfall. More than 160 tornado warnings were issued across Florida, a record high. Among them, the National Weather Service in Miami issued only 55 times, and the National Weather Service offices in Tampa Bay and Melbourne issued a total of 98 times, setting the highest single-day record in Florida history. Destructive tornadoes are raging across South Florida, bringing devastation to this beautiful Sunshine State. According to monitoring data from the Weather Department, a large number of tornadoes occurred throughout the southern region on the day before Hurricane Milton swept across the west coast of Florida. Meteorologists said it was unprecedented for so many tornadoes to appear before a hurricane and cause serious damage across the South. I'm not sure if Milton spawned a record number of tornadoes, but it's well beyond what hurricanes have spawned in previous years, said Luke Culver, a forecaster with the National Weather Service in Florida. On October 9th, 2024, a suspected tornado hit the highway near Fort Pierce, Florida. The footage showed that the strong winds picked up a large amount of debris. Meteorologist John Basham wrote on. St. Lucie County Sheriff Keith Pearson told local media that in just 20 minutes, 6 to 12 tornadoes were confirmed in the area. These cyclones wreak havoc on the local area, bringing devastating damage to different areas. These tornadoes left a heavy mark across southern Florida. Among them, Spanish Lakes Country Club, located near Fort Pierce, suffered the most severe blow. We lost some lives, St. Lucie County Sheriff Keith Pearson said. He confirmed that many people died in this retirement community. Search and rescue personnel are working hard to find any survivors in the rubble with signs of life. In addition to casualties, the tornado also caused extensive property damage in the area. Approximately 20 homes were damaged in the tornado. A spokesman for the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office told local media. Houses were razed to the ground, trees were uprooted, and power poles lay scattered on the ground. Also affected was the Port of Salerno in Martin County, where severe tornado damage also occurred. The National Weather Service said its radar detected a severe thunderstorm with the potential to cause a tornado, raging in the area and moving north. In Vero Beach, Indiana County, the Weather Department also confirmed the occurrence of a tornado. Also affected was the area north of Alligator Alley in Collier County, where a tornado was also reported. It can be said that in the hours before Hurricane Milton made landfall, all parts of southern Florida suffered an unprecedented baptism of tornadoes. These violent storms not only caused the destruction of a large number of houses and buildings, but also led to the tragic consequences of many casualties. Local officials said that after these tornadoes wreak havoc, they will still face the test of storm surge, heavy rain, and strong winds brought by Hurricane Milton. Suffice it to say, South Florida is facing an ongoing weather disaster, while southern Florida was still dealing with the damage and casualties caused by tornadoes. The more powerful Hurricane Milton also made landfall on the west coast of the state as scheduled. This Category 3 hurricane not only brought terrible storm surge and strong winds, but also triggered many deadly tornadoes. The entire Sunshine State is in the grip of an ongoing weather disaster. According to monitoring data from the U.S. National Hurricane Center, Hurricane Milton made landfall near Siesta Key, Florida at around 8:30 p.m. local time on October 9th. The Category 3 hurricane had maximum sustained winds of 120 miles per hour and caused severe damage to the coast. Radar images show that after Milton made landfall, the powerful cyclone brought violent storms. The National Weather Service said the hurricane's peripheral circulation was passing through South Florida at speeds of 30 to 40 miles per hour, and strong winds were expected to continue until October 10th. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and turning on the little bell. For the next week, we will update the latest news on hurricanes in the United States every day. In addition to damaging winds, Milton also brought terrible storm surges. The Weather Department issued a warning that storm surges of more than 15 feet may occur in some coastal areas, enough to flood coastal roads and homes. In addition, hurricanes are expected to cause widespread flooding. Many counties are reporting tornado damage, DeSantis said. We are doing everything we can to prepare for this storm. After Hurricane Milton made landfall, various parts of Florida were once again hit by tornadoes. According to the latest news, in just a few hours, dozens of places in the southern region were ravaged by tornadoes. St. Lucie County Sheriff Keith Pearson said the county confirmed 6 to 12 tornadoes in just 20 minutes. "This is a devastating tornado," Pearson said. "We are doing our best to search and rescue, hoping to find any survivors who still have signs of life in the rubble." The ruins Pearson is referring to are none other than Spanish Lakes Country Club, just north of Fort Pierce. This retirement community suffered the most severe tornado, and many people died. "We lost some lives," Pearson said. Search and rescue personnel are working in the rubble to find residents who may be trapped. Local officials said the specific death toll could not yet be determined. In addition, areas such as Port Salerno in Martin County and Vero Beach in Indian County were also hit by tornadoes. The National Weather Service detected a severe thunderstorm with the potential to cause tornadoes moving through these areas. Even before Milton made landfall, various parts of southern Florida had been hit by such severe tornadoes. Now, with the arrival of hurricanes, this weather disaster continues. Local officials warn that more tornadoes may appear in the future, causing continued damage to the state. Seeing the houses they had worked so hard to build torn to pieces in an instant by a tornado, the people of Florida experienced great trauma and despair. As the first responders, firefighters, police officers, and volunteers never stopped saving lives and property. "We are doing everything we can to search the area," St. Lucie County Sheriff Pearson said. "If there are people inside the residence, we will brave the storm to get them out." But compared with the ferocity of the tornado, the power of rescue workers pales into insignificance. Not only did they have to struggle forward in the strong wind, but they also had to search for survivors among the ruins of collapsed buildings. Sometimes, even if the trapped people are found, it is difficult to move them safely in bad weather. Kevin Guthrie, director of the Florida Department of Emergency Management, said that about 125 homes in the state were destroyed in this life-threatening tornado, most of which were mobile homes in senior communities. "We're trying to get into Florida's most vulnerable populations and make sure they're taken care of," he said. However, as Hurricane Milton made landfall, the rescue work became more difficult. Severe storms and continuous tornadoes have made it difficult for rescue workers to enter the disaster area. Many people had to temporarily give up rescue operations and seek their own survival safety. This undoubtedly puts the affected people in a desperate situation. Not only do they have to face the trauma of their houses being destroyed and family members passing away, but they also have to lose outside assistance. In this ongoing weather disaster, they are racing against time and trying to survive. When severe storms swept through southern Florida on October 9th, St. Lucie County was one of the areas hardest hit. In the hours before Hurricane Milton made landfall, the county had already experienced one devastating tornado after another. Among them, the Spanish Lakes Country Club near Fort Pierce was hit the hardest, with many people losing their lives. According to local officials, 6 to 12 tornadoes were confirmed in St. Lucie County in just 20 minutes. This series of tornado disasters caused by Hurricane Milton brought unprecedented destruction to the region. The most serious incident occurred at the Spanish Lakes Country Club near Fort Pierce. This retirement community was hit by a devastating tornado, killing many people on the spot. "We lost some lives," St. Lucie County Sheriff Keith Pearson told the media. Pearson did not disclose the specific death toll, but he emphasized that search and rescue personnel are working hard to find any survivors with signs of life in the rubble. "We're doing everything we can to search the area," Pearson said. "If there are people inside the residence, we will brave the storm to get them out." Local officials said that about 20 homes in St. Lucie County were destroyed in this life-threatening tornado. Most of these are mobile homes and apartments where retirees live. Footage captured by the camera showed that entire buildings were razed to the ground and debris blown up by strong winds was scattered among roads and houses. Dozens of homes were damaged in St. Lucie County. Some homes were severely damaged, St. Lucie County spokesman Eric Gill said. "We are working with the St. Lucie County Fire Department, the National Guard, The sheriff's department units from the office and emergency personnel from surrounding counties cooperated to assist in the search and rescue. Gill said they have opened 3 shelters, but considering that more people may be homeless due to the tornado, a 4th school is being converted into a temporary shelter. Although rescue workers are doing their best, bad weather conditions have greatly restricted their operations. Strong storms and continuous tornadoes made rescue operations very difficult. Many rescuers had to give up temporarily and seek their own safety. This was a devastating tornado, Pearson said in the video posted earlier. Thank God no one was there. This thing came through in a split second and wiped everything out. Find a take cover. Take shelter. This is a real storm. This is a dangerous storm. Undoubtedly, this is an ongoing nightmare for affected St. Lucie County residents. Not only do they have to deal with the trauma of their houses being destroyed and family members passing away, they now also have no outside rescue assistance. Under the double attack of Hurricane Milton and tornadoes, they are racing against time, trying to stay alive. Local officials said that about 125 homes in St. Lucie County were destroyed in this life-threatening tornado, most of which were mobile homes in senior communities. We are working hard to get into Florida's most vulnerable populations and make sure they are taken care of, said Kevin Guthrie, director of the Florida Department of Emergency Management. In addition to house damage, the tornado also caused serious casualties. Although the exact death toll has not yet been determined, the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office has confirmed that multiple people were killed at Spanish Lakes Country Club. We lost some lives, Pearson said. Search and rescue teams are desperately looking for survivors in the rubble. However, due to bad weather, their movements were greatly restricted. If there are people inside the residence, we will brave the storm to get them out, Pearson said. But this is a real storm, and this is a dangerous storm. As Hurricane Milton makes landfall, damage assessment and rescue operations in St. Lucie County become more difficult. Severe storms and continuous tornadoes have made it difficult for rescue workers to enter the disaster area. Many people had to temporarily give up rescue and seek their own survival safety. We are doing everything we can to search the area, Pearson said, but adverse weather conditions have greatly limited our operations. In this ongoing weather disaster, the affected people are facing huge trauma and despair. Not only do they have to deal with the grief of their houses being destroyed and their loved ones passing away, but they also have to lose outside assistance. Right now, they're doing their best to protect their lives and seek opportunities for survival. As Hurricane Milton barreled across Florida's west coast, other parts of the state were hit by unprecedented tornadoes. Cities such as Fort Pierce and Fort Myers have all fallen victim to these storms, with a large number of houses and buildings destroyed and countless residents instantly homeless. This is an ongoing weather disaster that has plunged the Sunshine State into dire straits. Fort Pierce on Florida's east coast was hit by a severe tornado just hours before Hurricane Milton made landfall. According to local police, 6 to 12 tornadoes were confirmed in the area in just 20 minutes. These violent winds swirled around the area, causing devastating damage to the city. In particular, the Spanish Lakes Country Club, located there, suffered the most severe attacks. Homes in the retirement community were flattened, trees were uprooted, and utility poles were strewn across the ground. We lost some lives, St. Lucie County Sheriff Keith Pearson said. He confirmed that many people were killed in the tornado accident. Search and rescue crews are searching for any survivors in the rubble. However, severe weather conditions have greatly restricted rescue operations. Pearson said they're doing their best to search and rescue, but if there are people in the house, we will brave the storm to get them out. This was a devastating tornado, Pearson said in the video posted earlier. Thank God no one was there. This thing came through in a split second and wiped everything out. Find a take cover. Take shelter. This is a real storm. This is a dangerous storm. There are indications that Fort Pierce had been hit by severe tornadoes before Hurricane Milton made landfall. These cyclones left deep scars on the city, leaving countless residents homeless. In addition to Fort Pierce, other areas of Florida were not spared the ravages of this tornado. Fort Myers, located in the southwest of the state, was also hit by a tornado. Earlier in the day, a tornado struck the city, ripping off roofs of homes and causing severe property damage. National weather reporter Ari Reed posted, "Tornado damage in Fort Myers, roofs blown off before hurricane landfall. People now seeking other shelters. Orangewood Avenue, down trees, power lines, fences. Power outage. Thank God, none casualties reported." In the city of Fort Myers, you can see that large trees were uprooted and cars were overturned on the rubble. Many houses are uninhabitable and severely damaged. It is reported that many buildings were damaged in the tornado that struck Fort Myers, including the roof of a gas station that was torn to pieces. This devastating damage has plunged local residents into desperate situations. In addition to Fort Pierce and Fort Myers, other areas of Florida were also hit by tornadoes. According to official sources, some homes were damaged and trees were destroyed in the Wellington area of Palm Beach County. In the port of Salerno in Martin County, the National Weather Service's radar also detected severe thunderstorms that may trigger tornadoes. At the same time, they also confirmed that Vero Beach in Indian County was also hit by a tornado. It can be said that before Hurricane Milton made landfall, many areas in Florida had already been hit by severe tornadoes. These violent winds swirl and bring to the city, it caused massive property losses and immeasurable casualties. Countless residents lost their homes in an instant and fell into desperate situations. As devastating tornadoes hit every corner of Florida, local officials are working hard to deal with the ongoing weather disaster. They urgently opened shelters and mobilized a large number of rescue forces. But compared with the destruction caused by the storm, these measures were still insufficient. The interruption of power supply has worsened the situation, leaving the affected people in dire straits. Faced with the sudden tornado attack, the Florida government immediately took a series of emergency measures. First, they urgently opened many shelters to accommodate those homeless people affected by the disaster. St. Lucie County spokesman Eric Gill said they have opened 3 shelters and are considering converting a 4th school into a temporary shelter. "We are working hard to get into Florida's most vulnerable populations and make sure they are taken care of," said Kevin Guthrie, Director of State Emergency Management. At the same time, a large number of rescue forces were urgently dispatched to the disaster-stricken areas. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis revealed that approximately 9,000 National Guard members have been deployed across the state for emergency operations. In addition, there are more than 50,000 utility workers from California and other places, as well as highway patrol vehicles equipped with sirens to escort tankers to replenish supplies. "Everyone is working on this storm," DeSantis said. "Unfortunately, people are going to die. I don't think there's a way to fix this." Although officials mobilized a large amount of resources and manpower, these measures were somewhat inadequate compared with the devastation caused by the storm, especially when power and supply are interrupted. The situation of disaster-stricken people becomes even more difficult. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and turning on the little bell. For the next week, we will update the latest news on hurricanes in the United States every day. Continue to use a scientific perspective to explore the complex truth behind meteorological events.